Our next guest is Turner, and he's been with us for a little bit. We have him down as a boxer mixed with what we could never tell you. When we're making our decisions about what breed animals are, we're really just looking at what we can see. And sometimes we're not right. People come back and they're like, well, we got a DNA test, blah, blah, blah. It says this. We can only go by what we're looking at. And sometimes different combinations of dogs make them have traits of another type of breed. So we do our best, but we're going with boxer mix for Turner. He's about a year old, and he's plumped up a bit since he got here. He came in actually quite thin. You could see kind of all of his bones and things like that. So we had him on 3 times a day feeding, and as you can see, he's full of energy, perked up, and ready to go. He's a very playful guy. He can be a little bit mouthy with his play, but with his food, he actually takes food super nicely. When I walk by every day and give him food through give everybody a treat, he takes it like in his jowls and just like holds it super gently and then like eventually eats it. So, he has that going for him. A lot of dogs take treats very aggressively. They're so excited to eat it. But he doesn't do that. But he can be a little mouthy in his play, which is something that can be worked on. He came right in. He's super confident. He's very friendly, loves the toys, loves affection. He's just an all-in-out great dog. And we've had a lot of people look at him and, some people apply, but for one reason or another, it just hasn't worked out. So he's still here waiting for that chance at a forever home. Like a lot of dogs here, he does have some allergies. So he gets, his daily Benadryl. Hopefully those things would just be seasonal. And sometimes they can be a little environmental here with the stress. And when they go home, they don't always have to maintain those types of allergy medications.
So on his medical, it does indicate that he has happy tail. So for those who may not know what that is, can you explain it for us?
Absolutely. Happy tail is something that you will probably see on a lot of medicals because of the environment in which the dogs live. So basically, they're super happy, friendly. They're walking around and their tail just back and forth, back and forth. But in the kennel environment, it hits the wall and those cinder block walls. And what can happen is the end of the tail, like the skin starts to break. And then it can bleed and calluses over eventually. So he has a little callus on there. So we try to do things like provide, medication for that, make sure that it's going to heal nicely, doesn't get infected. But then in the kennels, if you're ever walking through and you're like, why are there blankets hanging all over that kennel? Sometimes that's why, to kind of soften that, to prevent it from getting worse. Because we found like putting things on their tail to protect it doesn't really work because they're dogs and they just pull it off. So that's what it is. It's not a huge deal. A lot of times, again, in a home, that's not a factor, but you'll see it on a lot of the dogs here. I think Miles might have also had happy tail at one point. So it's a pretty common thing in shelter environments. If you're interested in making Turner here part of your home, you think he has just the right playfulness to keep your kids busy all winter long, then you can go to visitfcac.as.me to book that appointment to meet him.